We welcome you to Westchester County, where a pair of sides below the playoff line face must-win scenarios as we enter the final month of the USL League One season. It is Westchester SC hosting for Madison FC, and tonight's match is presented by Northwell Health. We say hello and welcome from Mount Vernon. I'm Sam Goldfarb, excited to take you every step of the way here this evening. And when you look at the USL League One table, it does tell you the stakes at play here. A Westchester side that will be eliminated with anything short of a victory here tonight. A Madison squad that is 8 points south of the playoff line. They need a victory to kickstart their potential playoff push. Well, both squads experienced very different fates a week ago. A Westchester side that earned its first home full-time league victory at home last week. You see Reed Valentine opening the scoring for Texoma. Then this flick-on header comes to Rashid Teta. He provides the equalizer. And then inside the final 10 minutes, Dean Guzin, the substitute, surging forward, picks out JC Obregon, who provides the finishing blow and hands Westchester their first on-pitch league victory since mid-June. On the opposite side of things, Ford Madison dropped a huge six-pointer in Greenville last Saturday night, and it was a series of mistakes that cost them. Matt Glazer lamenting major defensive errors that led to Ropapa Mensah's hat trick for the triumph. He struck twice in the first half, and then the third goal was by far the most egregious. A back pass, Burns Shipman has issues fielding it, and it is the easiest goal that anyone will score all season in Greenville Green. Madison dropping a huge 3 points in the playoff hunt. And when you look at how the teams stack up since their last meeting, which was actually a 2-1 victory for Westchester, you see Westchester struggling at the back, the only team in the league without a clean sheet this year. Madison having issues going forward, the least goals in the league, and also starting to concede a fair few more goals, 10 of those coming in the last 4 matches. In terms of our players to watch, starting with Westchester, it is one man that comes to mind, and it is Connor McGlynn, who made his first start since returning from injury in early September last week. His first start since that last Madison match. Dave Carton saying that his passing range and press resistance is key for them in midfield. His opposite number is on the left flank, a wing-back in Damia Villader, who's been a crucial presence providing width and creating chances for the Mingos. The most on the team in that category. He is someone that keys their transition from defense to attack and will hope to stretch Westchester on the left flank here this evening. We are just about set for the third and final meeting between Westchester SC and Ford Madison, and it is the one with the biggest of stakes. Both these sides looking to kickstart a potential playoff push. Stick with us, lineups and kickoff next when we return from Westchester County.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town, and we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
Being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and you know, I just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family. And a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown and this one in Katona. at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise Health.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where we get a look at our starting lineup, starting with Dave Carton's bunch. He makes 2 changes from the 2-1 victory over Texoma a week ago. They come in midfield. Dean Guzin, after assisting the winner, is there, as is Taimu Okiyoshi. Enrique Fakuse continues to lock things down between the sticks. For Matt Glazer's men, a fair few more changes, 4 to be precise. Luca Dorado is back up front after missing last week's defeat against Greenville, and he's partnered by Devin Boyce and Derek Gebhard, a Madison side that has battled injury all year, getting back to full strength, and that is what they go with. The other big change of note, Wallace Lapsley between the sticks after Burn Shipman went down with injury midway through the second half in the Greenville clash. Well, we are underway here from Westchester County. It is Westchester and Madison for the 3rd and final time this year, and it is a pair of sides that both need 3 points for different reasons. Westchester eliminated without them. Forward Madison further adrift if they fall here on away ground. This is lofted long and claimed by Fakuse. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all the way through these 90 minutes and beyond. Westchester finally snapping that prolonged duck at home. Had not won an on-pitch league victory all season prior to last week. Dave Carton mentioning how proud he was of his side to overcome the early deficit and flip the match on its head before full time. Not just for a pride thing, but also to repay their fans and for at least another week keep their season alive. Matt Glazer on the other side of things saying that we've made too many mistakes over the course of the last month or so. We must clean those up. We can't beat ourselves. Here's Nico Brown back in the 11 after Chris Garcia had seemingly taken his spot on the right flank. Now Villader. Spread well by Josh Drack, the signing from Charleston Battery in May. The way back to the new goalkeeper, Wallace Lapsley. Did get a bit of a run in the 11 at the early stages of the season when Burn Shipman was injured, making his first start since late July here. He's flicked wide, and this is Brown. Plays it through to Gebhard, who rounds the goalkeeper and opens the scoring. Brilliantly worked by Madison, and their top goal scorer is on the score sheet again. Inside 2 minutes, the scoreline reads Westchester 0, Madison 1. The dream start for the Mingos. Goal number 9 of the season for Derek Gebhard. It is scintillating interplay. The clever flick from Boyce. Brown occupies the space, and then Gebhard times his run perfectly. A well-weighted ball from Nico Brown. The deft touch to take it beyond Fakuse, and the early advantage for forward Madison. Derek Gebhard, the longest tenured player on this forward Madison roster. Their all-time leading goal scorer has bagged his 9th of the season. And in a year where forward Madison has struggled to put the ball in the back of the net, he has been the lone constant going forward. It is goal 27 of his Madison career on his 148th appearance in the pink of the Mingos. And Westchester must play from behind yet again.
Forward Madison goal scored by number 17, Derek Gebhard, in the 3rd minute. The assist to number 77, Nico Brown.
How about that for a start? Blink and you'll miss it type of action. And there is your first proper look at Wallace Lapsley, who has already seen his team score before he's had to properly touch the ball with his hands. Seattle, Washington native, who was the backup keeper for Rashid Nuhu on that Union Omaha title-winning side a year ago. played a lot in the Jägermeister Cup as well as some of the US Open Cup run. This year, more frequent appearances in the 11 just due to the oscillating health status of Vern Shipman. And has performed well enough to keep Matt Glazer content when Shipman is unavailable. Obviously, Shipman's pedigree and performance makes him the go-to. And he has got to be thrilled with what he's seen thus far. Talking to him this week, he said to me, "We are making too many errors, especially defensively. In possession, we're giving it away and leaving ourselves compromised or just making very poor mental decisions, especially away from home." This is the inverse start to what they experienced at Greenville a week ago. 1-0 down after 10 minutes and 3 goals adrift just beyond the 45-minute mark. Scored their first goal since that fateful Henny Derby winner a couple weeks back. Boyce, former all-league first-team selection, who also has battled his fair share of physical ailments this year. It is a season in which Madison, especially in the early spring, was hemorrhaged by injury. As you see Brown run out of real estate on the far side. They were ravaged by injury, I should say. At one point, Matt Glazer, before a Jägermeister Cup match against Chattanooga, described the crisis as unprecedented. Still without the likes of Eddie Munjoma, who was supposed to play a big role on the flanks, as well as Mitch Osmond, their captain, but otherwise they've gotten close to full strength. With the additions of the likes of Luca Durano, Dean Bolts, and others on loan, beginning to gel as a unit. It's a squad that still is underperforming its expected goals by 10. That's one way to remedy it. Start with a 5-star chance that is dispatched brilliantly by Gebhardt. Here's Connor McGlynn, best known for his time in the USL Championship with the likes of Hartford Athletic and Rhode Island. His versatility has been something that Dave Carton says his side has missed. In the 2.5 months he was out of the squad, returned as a substitute against Richmond and has seen his minutes grow each week. This is lofted towards Obregon, the Golden Boot leader. It's headed away by Lapsley. Via Dare. He's snatched back, and Beckford in space. Deshane Beckford! Denied by Lapsley at the near post, but Westchester with their first corner. These are the giveaways in possession that Matt Glazer has highlighted this week, and it's the slight deflection by Jason Ramos, which provides Lapsley the time he needs to recover and knock it wide. It's a strong chance off the press, and it gives us a chance to tell you that this corner kick is brought to you by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Josh Drack stands over it. Has Beckford in the nearby vicinity. Arced in to the near post, just headed wide. And it appears Madison got the final touch to it. Well, if you didn't hear us the first time, we tell you again, this corner kick is brought to you by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Second in quick succession now for Josh Drag. This one flicked on by Obregon. Got cleaner contact, but well over the bar. Actually, it's Okiyoshi who got the final touch. Well, for those just joining us, for one, welcome. 2, you've already missed a tremendous start for Forward Madison. Derek Gebhard inside 2 minutes after the sensational interplay between Nico Brown and his counterpart going forward in Devin Boyes. Receiving a brilliantly weighted ball from Nico Brown, rounding Fakuzet and making it 1-0. And that is what separates the two sides in their third and final meeting of the year. It is a bit of a get-back spot for Madison. They've only picked up 1 point from the first 2 meetings against Westchester. 1-1 draw in May on this ground. This is daring from Lapsley. Unfortunate that found its way to Brown. Before in June, Westchester overcame a 1-goal deficit in which Madison similarly struck on 4 minutes before they flipped the match on its head and took the lead before halftime. That snapped an 11-match winless rut in all competitions for Dave Carton's side. And there is your first proper glance at the leader of Westchester in their first season. Talking to him this week, he mentioned how after the monumental victory over Texoma, he did let the lads enjoy it. Didn't want to put too much of a damper on their parade, but the focus has turned, and he said to them this week, our target is to be afloat by the Tormenta match, which is next week. If we win here against Madison and then win at Tormenta, we at least give ourselves a chance. And that's all you can hope for at this time of year. Westchester side that has dug themselves this hole with issues protecting leads all season long, but if they can string a fair few sets of results together, you never know. Though their margin for error at this stage is pretty much non-existent. McGlynn. Here's Overgon, linking well with Noah Powder, hooking it towards Beckford, runs all the way through to Drack. Shane Beckford again, the Hartford Athletic loanee. Okiyoshi. Guzin just loses out on the edge of the area. And a promising break goes begging for Westchester. McGlynn, progressive, and picks out Guzin with room to roam. It's right into Jason Ramos, who makes himself an obstacle. Fans don't like the lack of a whistle from our lead referee, Stephen Foster, tonight. Here's Murphy Jr. As a player, Matt Glazer has been very complimentary towards this year. During that injury crisis, at one point only really had 2 proper center midfielders available, and John Murphy Jr. was thrust into a massive role after bouncing in and out of the 11 last year. He's been a steadying force for the Mingos all year long. Doesn't put many feet wrong, and while maybe his attacking output is limited, he is a stable presence that has helped them considerably in that regard. Powder. Okiyoshi, loan from Rhode Island FC. Out wide to Payne, a USL League One veteran. Drag. Linking with Beckford. Surges ahead with that blistering pace. Nearly receives the return ball from Guzin, and it rolls back to Lapsley. Well, Well, fans catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 Westchester SC season ticket member today. This is the penultimate home match of Westchester SC season. They're hoping that they can round out their final 3 home matches with 3 victories. Though it will be an uphill climb if they can do so tonight. It's an errant ball from Villader. Now Beckford. Just lost it off his boots. Well, interestingly enough, when you look at all 3 of Westchester's actual on-pitch league victories, yes, they've won 4, but one was a forfeit against Spokane in mid-July that they actually lost 3-2. All 3 of their home victories that they've actually played in the full 90 have been in matches where they've conceded the first goal. So the victory over Texoma, fell behind 1-0 early, came back and won 3-1. It was a similar deal at Madison when they won 2-1 the last time these 2 sides met. And then, of course, last week, falling 1-0 down against Texoma before Rashid Tenta and JC Obregon rescued all 3 points. So for all of the issues made of their struggles protecting leads, the league record, 38 points dropped from winning positions this year, they actually have been better than most at playing from behind. Which is strange considering the struggles they've battled when they've taken leads. Obregon, and Payne is offside on the underlap. Fans, the USL on ESPN2. Watch Sunday, October 5th for a clash of championship teams fighting for the playoff life. Eastern Conference Rhode Island FC battles to stay above the playoff line, and Western Conference Las Vegas Lights look to climb above the line October 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. All part of the playoff push as we inch towards the final month of the regular season. Just 4 matches remaining for both of these clubs after tonight, and the question is, will Westchester be in contention still come next week? Remember, they have to win to keep their playoff hopes even alive, so this would doom them to becoming the first team to be eliminated. Still plenty of time, though, for things to change. As a Westchester team that rarely goes scoreless, especially at home. Okiyoshi. The issue they'll have to battle is Ford Madison is in a complete low block at this stage. 5 back, the width may be compromised for Westchester. McGlynn floating it long, picks out Stephen Payne brilliantly. Obregon just left it loose. Gephardt away. This may become the story of the night. Numbers behind the ball for Madison, looking to sit on this 1-0 advantage, especially given the stakes at play for them, needing 3 points to trim the deficit between themselves and 8th place. Westchester being the protagonist. Payne. Villader gets his foot in the way. And out for what should be another corner. Well, this corner is brought to you by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Westchester's 3rd of the night already. Drack, this time to the heart of the area. Nodded away. Only as far as Guzin, though. Payne. Loaded back for Drac. Cuts inside on his left. That's an inviting ball, and it's awkward. Timmy Mel has to clear, and another corner from the opposite side this time. Well, by the end of the night, it seems like you'll be familiar that the corner kicks are brought to you by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. This is the fourth already for Westchester. This time Deshane Beckford gets his first crack at things, and a reminder that he is who supplied the ball that led to Teta's equalizer a week ago. This is not his finest of deliveries by any means. Jose joining the club in late August and made his debut at Naples on August 30th in the Snowbird Derby. Dave Carton's talked about what he provides as someone who can boot the ball about 20 yards deeper than either of their other goalkeeping options and adds a layer of personality and communication that he feels they lacked prior to his signing. McGlynn hit the 20-minute mark, and Westchester still playing from behind. Guzin is looking to change that. Just rolls it wide. And it appears it took a deflection on the way. Good interplay this. One-time flick from Obregon. Guzin was hoping to pick out that bottom right, but didn't connect with it cleanly enough. Already another set piece for Westchester. Corner kick will be presented by Ice Air. Keep every play cool and comfortable. Josh Drac has gotten target practice from this near side already. This time taken short. Beckford working it towards the back post. Well beyond everyone there. Fans tune in to CBS Sports Golazo Network on October 4th for the Jägermeister Cup final. From 38 teams down to 2. Group 1 winner Sacramento Republic FC take on the wild card Hartford Athletic at 10 p.m. Eastern for their shot at Jägermeister Cup glory. All on Golazo on October 4th. What a final that should be. A resurgent Hartford side, which picked up another victory away from home last night at Colorado Springs. Sacramento is always a competitive presence out west as well. And they draw a good crowd for matches like these. It is appointment television next weekend. Here we've got a decent one brewing. Quick start for Madison. Derek Gebhardt on the score sheet inside the opening 2 minutes. Since then, Forward Madison flashing its game management, not willing to overcompromise itself even in possession. Westchester facing a tall hill at this stage. Going to break down a very deep 5-back. McGlynn. We've already reminded you a fair few times, but Westchester fans, you must win, or otherwise you'll be eliminated from playoff contention. You'll be the first team out of the race if they don't claim 3 points. Forward Madison 8 points south of the playoff line themselves, so plenty of work to be done still. Payne whips it in to the back post. Cut out before he can reach Obregon. That was a delicious delivery. You can tell Obregon knew it. His reaction after the fact. Now McGlynn from afar. Through the wrong set of uprights. Not too much for Wallace Lapsley to contend with thus far. That's in spite of the fact that Westchester's had the lion's share of the half chances. When you look at the numbers, Westchester 60% of the ball. The last time these two teams met, those numbers almost reversed. Westchester coming from behind, spent the whole second half out of possession protecting the lead. Dave Carton actually very complimentary of Madison in that affair. Boyce finds Gebhardt, the lone goal scorer thus far. Dorado. Errant ball from Murphy. Maybe space to break. This is Beckford. Noah Powder. This is Obregon. He league's leader in goals with 14. Spreads it wide to Payne, who has options. Low cross in, and it's rocketed right at Lapsley. A major chance for Beckford, and it goes by the wayside. Well, they've pulled Madison apart here. What a cross from Stephen Payne, and it is right into Beckford's path. Just can't steer it either way. Routine stop from Lapsley in the end. Well, there is life from Westchester, no doubt. This is not a side that lacks resilience, despite some of their struggles playing from ahead. Dave Carton has mentioned their record when they actually fall behind. He's felt that a lot of their performances when they fall behind have actually been positive. They've had an occasional moment here and there, not the biggest of the lot. Ramos, and what a ball that is. The flag is raised, and Dorado's effort stymied by the linesman. That's the benefit of a high line. It's like for a moment, Dorado was home free. When you look at the numbers thus far, oddly enough, the XG low for both sides. Westchester 0.16, Madison 0.12, which is somewhat surprising given the caliber of chance that actually fell across Gebhardt's docket. And what led to the opener, he's just able to tap it around the keeper. Did take a good bit of skill, no doubt, but it's a bigger chance than the numbers seem to indicate. Payne. These two sides that rank inside the top 4 in the league in average possession. I think given the way this started, with Madison scoring early and being content to sit out of possession, those numbers won't be fully indicative of their possessional prowess. May change if Westchester finds an equalizer, though. This is Noah Powder, Trinidad and Tobago international. Okiyoshi. McGlynn. Inch towards the half-hour mark. As things stand, Madison with their noses narrowly in front. Drack loses his footing. Still loose. A chance brewing, perhaps. Beckford. Sit beyond Obregon. Toronto loses it out of play. Fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. Westchester SC season and single game tickets are on sale now. And a yellow card brandished just moments ago. Appears to be Luca Dorado, who's been booked, so the first man to be cautioned for either side. And that may be something to monitor as we inch into the business end of the first half and maybe the early second, because the worst possible thing that could happen to Madison right now is seeing their side go down a man. Full control of the actual chance caliber. Gebhard, Boyce just loses it on the turn. Comes back to Nico Brown. Now assured wide. There are numbers in the box for Madison. Murphy goes down, and our referee waves away penalty shouts. It'll be interesting to get a look back at that possible penalty appeal in a matter of moments, because that didn't appear to be the cleanest of tackles by any means. Maybe Westchester's gotten away with one. Here's Macias. Off to the races now for Madison. Had Dorado with him. Tried to poke it across. Instead out for Madison's first corner of the night. Well, it's Madison's first corner, and as we've already said, corner kicks are brought to you by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. What can Madison conjure from this set piece? Devin Boyce is known for his mastery from dead ball situations. Let's see what he can procure here. Floats it all the way to the back post. Hangs up for McGlynn. Brown back into the quarter of uncertainty. Falls for Mel, off the bar. What an effort that was. Chance not lost yet, and Kroll knocks it out for a corner. Timmy Mel contacted this so sweetly. And you'd fancy them to be up 2-0. Hooked back in, it's just knocked around, and then Mel chests it and lashes at it. Just underneath it a touch. Kisses it off the crossbar. What an eye-catching moment that was. Another corner kick presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable to follow that. Set piece defending has been a major point of concern for Dave Carton all year, especially in the early stages of the season. Although it has reared its head as well of late, including last week against Texoma. Boyce to take this corner as we wait what appears to be dragged to receive medical attention.
Your attention, please. There has been a change in the player who received.
Well, actually, it's not drag. It's Taimu Okiyoshi who's slow to get up. Walking off gingerly. He's a key midfield presence for Westchester. Dave Carton speaks glowingly of his ability to break up play. Of course, so much high college pedigree during his time at Marshall. An integral part of that Thundering Herd side that finished as national runners-up in 2024. It's Boyce to deliver. Another in-swinger is dangerous, and it actually falls rather kindly for Fakuse. And confirmation that that yellow card was shown indeed to Luca Dorado. In the venue initially, they said it was Aiden Macias who received it. Okiyoshi is back on the pitch and seems content to continue. Madison's done a fantastic job taking the sting out of things. Westchester had a good 10-12 minute window a bit after the opener. Since then, though, kept in check. Now you even see the Mingos knocking it about a bit more. Macias. This is Dorado. Sprays wide towards Villader, who does keep it in play. Hooked back for Gebhard. And now Murphy takes a deflection. And Fakuse watches it sail out of play for another corner. Oddly enough, Madison's starting to mount up the corner kick opportunities, despite playing in a low block out of possession for a good chunk of this first half. And it is another kick, corner kick, brought to you by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Boyce again stands over it. This time to the near post. It's dealt with awkwardly. Macias and right at Fakuse. Fans, 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season tickets are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all of the action and all of the fun starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. And for your information, single game tickets are also on sale. With one home match remaining after this one, your chances to see Westchester SC in action this year are dwindling, so get your tickets fast. It must be said, this is a difficult stretch for Ford Madison to close their season. Matt Glazer feels they've left opportunities on the table, especially following that 3-0 defeat at Greenville, in which you could make the case that all 3 goals were a byproduct of mistakes. Having issues clearing the long ball and the cross on the opener, the giveaway on the second, and then of course, the third one is inexcusably a mistake. Juan Palma is in the book for Westchester, the first player on the Golden Apple to be cautioned. But now they're in a stretch where 4 of their final 5 league matches, including this one, are away from home. So if they are to make the playoffs, they'll have to earn it. And Matt Glazer saying to me that he feels the mistakes have occurred more frequently when they are away from the friendly confines of Breese-Stevens Field. So focus in crucial moments is imperative down the stretch here. Can't afford to have the issues that plagued them last week rear their ugly heads again. Ramos negotiating out of trouble. Now Obregon for Westchester. We've seen his influence blunted thus far. Noah Powder out wide for Payne. First time cross all the way to Guzin. Flicks into the quarter of uncertainty. And McGlynn did not contact that cleanly at all. And a bit frustrated with himself, you can tell. It's a tough ball to get a hold of. By no means a shabby cross. Guzin does well to put it back in, and then McGlynn's at the right spot. Doesn't hit it sweetly enough, and it winds up being rather tame. Dean Guzin is still prone on the turf for Westchester. Take another look here. It's a coming together between Guzin and Boyce. Excuse me, actually, it's Juan Palma who's been in the midst of things. So something to monitor here. So a number of Westchester players look to sort things out with Dave Carton, continuing to preach his tactical philosophy. When I talked to him a couple weeks back, he mentioned that the tenets that they generally structure their side around, they're pretty married to. This is a side that wants to play expansively, that wants to create chances and play exciting, fluid football. And when they build out, it's pretty apparent that they have the potential to become one of the more dynamic attacking sides in League One, be it next year or beyond, with just the sheer width they provide. He's mentioned that the biggest adjustment needs to be how they handle situations where they lose possession on the counter and such. Feels that there's been a lack of athleticism at times in key moments when they're disorganized to clean up the mess and mop things up. Matt Glazer, meanwhile, has spoken to me repeatedly this week about being a team that is hard to play against. He says that the mistakes have handed teams opportunities, have gift-wrapped them chances at times. They have to sort those out and make sure they're obdurate at the back first. While the goals have not necessarily come thick and fast, they've been at their best when they're able to keep opposing scorelines down, maintain themselves in matches. As Palma is still getting a look from the physios, seems to be concerned to the outside area of his knee, which for a player that's already suffered an injury in the past, certainly hoping that that is nothing to be extremely concerned about. He is the difference maker, Derek Gebhardt, on 2 minutes, receiving that well-weighted through ball by Nico Brown and finishing comfortably. Since then, Westchester's been playing catch-up and doing so in spurts of differing efficacy. Palma seems content to try and walk this off. Bobby Pierre may be warming up, so that is a situation to monitor. A couple of years ago, playing a key role for Charleston in their run to the USL Championship final. Suffered a knee injury the following year and just been working his way back ever since. He has the quality to play at the championship and beyond, according to Dave Carton. I'm sure they're hoping that he can just get back out there and finish this off. Here's Dorado. Murphy. Timmy Melt, who had a chance to make it 2-0 from a set piece about 10 minutes ago. Flattered a volley off the crossbar. And hearing word that Juan Palma is re-entering the action, so that is a welcome sight for everyone. Dorado linking with Villader. Now Macias loses out to Guzin. Seeking options the other way. Chips it forward towards Beckford, who does win the foot race. McGlynn. Okiyoshi. Powder. We inch towards halftime, and the question is, can Westchester throw a spanner in the works? Or is Madison destined to secure 3 points and add new life into their playoff push? Palma. Now drag. He's undercut by Boyce. And a free kick for Westchester just before halftime. Inside the final 2 minutes of the 45. Westchester looking to throw a haymaker before the break. It's Drack and Beckford in the immediate vicinity of it. Poked forward, nearly found Palma, fell kindly for Okiyoshi, and it deflects out for another corner. Keep your eye on Connor McGlynn at the back post. Against Texoma last week, got free and just headed it wide. Here's another look at the chance. Falls so nicely for Taimu Okiyoshi, and it's Kroll's deflection which makes the difference. Sets the stage for another corner kick presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Deshane Beckford over it. Arcs it in, headed away by Ramos. Falls for Guzin, just wide, and it did take another touch. This is a better delivery from Beckford, but far too tight on Ramos, and it is the initial deflection on Guzin's effort from Brown, which sends it behind for another Ice Air corner kick. Now Boyce heads away. Gebhardt cleans up the loose change. Set piece execution. It feels like it hasn't been good enough so far for the Golden Apple. McGlynn. Obergon. Guzin switches the play. Back for Beckford.
Your attention, please.
5 minutes of stoppage time. Beckford cutting in on his right. Deflects off Murphy, and yet another corner for Westchester. Deshane Beckford slowly getting target practice from this far side, and still trying to calibrate his delivery. As this corner kick once again presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. This time taken short. In a training ground routine that has seemingly gone awry. Guzin. Drag. Fakuse blasts it ahead. Final touch once again off of the Madison player, this time Macias. Yet another Ice Air corner kick, keeping every play cool and comfortable. I don't know if Dave Carton will go back to the training ground technique now. This looks to be much more of a proper delivery. Beckford drives it low. Back to the corner taker. Beckford again flashes it in. Macias has options the other way. Blasts it towards Gebhardt, who's on his horse and gets there. And now we'll slow up for reinforcements. Murphy. Macias. Former QPR Academy product who spent 7 years in London with the club. Also played for Reading in his youth days. He's been a veteran with Ford Madison, year 3 with the Mingos at this stage. It is a team that is known for returning its top talent. 13 returning players from a season ago. But losing Christian Cheney to Charlotte after they released him in the offseason. And the goals have not necessarily picked up regularly by any means. The team with the least goals in the league entering the night with 24. As Obergon is fouled, and one more set piece at least for the visitors to monitor. Looks like the captain armband has broken in the process. He and Jason Ramos, the enforcer, and then it's the late challenge from Timmy Mel, which makes the difference. Everybody's gotten off scot-free otherwise, though. Drac and Obregon can deliberate here. Obregon drives it towards goal. Not dealt with just yet. Falls kindly. Okiyoshi had a hit, but right into the thicket of Madison defenders. And we play on. Okiyoshi floated towards Obregon. He can't quite contort his body and redirect it. And out for a goal kick. Well, it finally gives us a chance to tell you that Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. In the final minute of the added 5, and as things stand, 1-0 advantage to Ford Madison, courtesy of Derek Gebhardt's second-minute strike. Not the only major moment of difference thus far. Timmy Mel hitting the crossbar about 20 minutes later, but Madison has locked up shop otherwise and parked numbers behind the ball. Understanding that maybe it will take a pragmatic display to get all 3 points here. Payne. This is Guzin. Beckford, beyond the added 5 now. Driving towards the byline, and the question is there time for this corner kick? There is not. Halftime whistle sounds, and as things stand, Ford Madison, the far happier of the two sides. They lead courtesy of that man, Derek Gebhardt, their all-time leading goal scorer, striking in the second minute with his 9th of the year. And they hold a narrow 1-0 cushion in a match they need to win to kickstart their playoff push. Meanwhile, for Westchester, they're a side that needs a win to avoid elimination. Plenty of work to be done if they are to stay alive following this weekend. At halftime, our scoreline reads Westchester 0, Forward Madison 1. We will step aside after this exciting first half when we return a look around USL League One. Stick with us, we'll be right back.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town, and we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family. And a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here, through this store in Tarrytown, and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where at halftime, the home side trailing Ford Madison in a must-win fixture for both sides below the playoff line. 1-0 in favor of the Mingos after 45 minutes. It's time to get a look around USL League One, starting with our team of the week. For week 29, here are
far side. Step and a shot, it's a score! Chattanooga come howling back. And it's Matthew Acosta with his first goal in a Red Wolves kit. Powell towards the near post, finds its way all the way through. It's saved! Hunter Morris keeps it out!
Welcome to the road to the Jägermeister Cup final. The path to the knockouts went smoothly for Sacramento Republic FC, breezing through 3 wins in group play to win Group 1 with 9 points. The knockout rounds proved to be a bit tougher. Traveling cross-country to take on Loudoun United in the quarterfinal, the match would end in a scoreless draw, penalty kicks, securing the victory for the Republic. The semifinals took Sacramento to Rhode Island, where a competition record 5th clean sheet highlighted a 0-0 draw, leaving them at the mercy of penalties once again. Sacramento's cupkeeper Jared Mazzola did not allow a goal to advance with a perfect PK performance. Hartford Athletic had a much wilder ride to the final and finished second in Group 4 to Rhode Island, but still racked up 9 points and snagged the final wildcard spot by playing to win, scoring 9 goals in the group to win the top tiebreaker over Louisville City. The quarterfinals took Hartford down south to San Antonio, where they took care of business 2-0. The semis brought the final League One team left standing to Hartford. Greenville Triumph pushed the Athletic until the final minutes. Marlon Hairston, Michi and Galena, decisive goals, winning 3-1. The final is set. Sacramento Republic FC and Hartford Athletic take their shot at glory to win the Jägermeister Cup.
Hartford Athletic gets to the Jägermeister Cup final.
Sacramento sweep the penalties. Sac Republic make another indomitable run to a cup final.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a love take a love for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
The trailer is Benalcazar! What a Filasso! And Orange County is on the board!
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
Fans out in full force in Westchester County on a lovely late September night, but I don't think they are loving what they're seeing so far. Their side trailing Ford Madison in a must-win fixture, 1-0 at halftime. It's time to get a look at our League One and Championship news and notes. Let's take a peek at the standout headlines, starting with Bell Tower Partners announcing a strategic growth partnership with the USL. And then as you head further down, Gio Reyna investing in Fort Lauderdale United, and the big news of the week, Mark McKeever signing a full-time contract with South Georgia Tormenta after going 5-1-1 as an interim and pulling the Ibises back into the playoff chase. Throughout the remainder of the weekend in USL League One, it has been a busy stretch. Here are your look at the weekend scores. A 6-match first 2 days of the weekend, 5 games on Saturday. Started on Friday with a 1-0 victory for 1 Knox over Charlotte. And how about Chattanooga pulling 3-0? The league leaders getting battered by Omaha at home. And speaking of brutalizations, Naples obliterating Avialta 4-0, and then Spokane falling to Greenville. That's a huge result for Greenville's playoff hopes. And let's see how that influences our League One standings. Well, keep in mind, this is the live table, so if this result holds, Ford Madison would move just 5 points south of the playoff line. With 4 matches to play, they would reinvigorate their postseason hopes. Meanwhile, Westchester, they would be eliminated, so still plenty to play for in these final 45 minutes. That race around the top 8 should get very exciting as we head into the final month of the year. Well, there is your look at the USL League One and around the USL Pyramid. It's time to take another breather here from Westchester, and when we return, a look back at the first half. Stick with us.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is, and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
Being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything, because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and, you know, I just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
Being healthy means you can do what makes you happy. With the people who make you smile. Health First Insurance plans connect you to care you can trust. For a happy family and a healthy future. With Health First, it's all within your reach.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
We welcome you back to Westchester County, where at halftime our scoreline reads Westchester 0, Ford Madison 1. And speaking of that first half we witnessed, how about we get a look back at our first half highlights here from the stadium at Memorial Field. It was a lively start for Forward Madison, and then Westchester had the bulk of the ball after that. Inside 2 minutes, lovely interplay between Devin Boyce and Nico Brown, and then Brown threads a perfectly weighted through ball into the path of Gebhard, who rounds the goalkeeper and finishes with aplomb to put Madison in front after just 2 minutes. What a start it was for the Mingos. Gebhard with his 9th of the year, and Madison with the early lead. From there, though, Westchester had their fair share of opportunities, winning the ball back upfield. Deshane Beckford having a crack here, and it's saved at the near post by Wallace Lapsley. That's one of the better chances of the half that Westchester had, but there were more where that came from. This is the biggest chance of the half. The low cross from Payne right into the path of Beckford. He has the entire goal at his mercy, but he lays it right into Lapsley's path. Meanwhile, Madison, they had one further chance to double their lead after some chaos in the penalty area. The ball found its way to Timmy Mell, who clattered it off the crossbar, nearly hit the underside, and if that bounces a bit more kindly, maybe we're looking at Madison being 2 to the good. When you look at the first half stats, the action favors Westchester, 60% of the ball, due to the fact that Madison has played pragmatically, operating in more of a low block since opening the scoring, but the important stat is the 1-0 lead, and both have 2 shots on goal. Westchester could be a bit more clinical despite their hefty shots advantage. That is your comparison. Overall, a pretty clean match with just 1 yellow card apiece. This is do or die for the Golden Apple. They must win to stave off elimination for another week. Right now, they are doing the opposite of that, trailing 1-0 at the 45-minute mark against a Madison side that also needs the 3 points to give themselves renewed life in the playoff chase. This is what we live for, the late stages of USL League One, and while both of these teams have struggled, there is a chance, should one of them win, that they could navigate themselves towards that top 8 come Judgment Day. For Westchester to have any hope of that, they must turn this around. There is a long and tall hill to climb. The question is, can they do it for the 2nd consecutive week after pulling off the comeback against Texoma? The next 45 minutes will answer all of our questions. Westchester will get us back underway, going from right to left now in the blue strip with the yellow accents and white numbers. Forward Madison from left to right in their pink kits with the black numbers and the navy blue accents. Will it be Westchester staving off elimination for at least 1 more week? Or will it be Madison reinvigorating their postseason aspirations? We wait a ball to come on the pitch, and then we will have the answer for you in a matter of 45 minutes and change. One change for Westchester. Juan Palma was dealing with some injury concerns. He did play out the first half. He's been replaced by Bobby Pierre, the 23-year-old center back. So 1 alteration for Westchester as they look to kickstart a comeback. We are back underway. 3rd and final meeting between Westchester and Madison, and it carries major stakes at the tail end of the USL League One campaign. And already a free kick going the way of the Golden Apple. Our referee, Stephen Foster, did not hesitate to blow his whistle. And maybe we'll get a look at what it's for exactly. Little shove in the back, and then it's the high boot from Timmy Mell, which draws our referee's ire. This is within the range for Obregon's right foot. So there is the change presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. You fancy Obregon to go for goal from here. It's around 28 yards out. Obregon and Drac in the vicinity. The lone goal today scored by Gebhard. Obregon curls it for goal, and it's routine for Lapsley in the end, who passes yet another test. Puts plenty of whip in this. Not enough venom, though. And while he's trying to catch Lapsley out at his near post, not enough velocity on the attempt. Pretty pedestrian first half for Wallace Lapsley. Made 1 big stop to deny Deshane Beckford, but effort was hit right at him, so very little to do. No complaints, though, by any means. Here's the cross from Guzin. And now he receives it back. Okiyoshi. There's that low block for Madison. There's no space for Westchester to work. Their complex network of overlaps and underlaps. They may be vulnerable on the break if they lose it as well, because they're forced to throw numbers forward at this stage. There's Pierre's first touch. Now Okiyoshi. Well, if you are just joining us, it is one goal that separates the two sides. Derek Gebhard striking inside 2 minutes for the Mingos of Ford Madison after terrific interplay between himself and Nico Brown. A well-weighted through ball to make the difference. Madison had a chance to double their lead. Timmy Mel clattering it off the underside of the crossbar just beyond the 30-minute mark. In between that, Beckford having a clear-cut chance that he fired right at Wallace Lapsley. Other than that, chances few and far between, especially since the opener, with Madison throwing numbers behind the ball. A pragmatic approach, but perhaps a winning one for Matt Glazer as they desperately seek 3 points. Okiyoshi trying to change that and just drags it wide. Well, that a big chance and a well-timed run for Okiyoshi. You see he and Noah Powder. Powder draws the defender and he catches Kroll out, and Okiyoshi from a tight angle, just narrowly missing that far post. Obregon seemed slightly frustrated after the fact, clearly wanted it as he was also rushing in there. Powder. Well, fans, catch every heart-pounding moment at Westchester's home stadium at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. 2025 season tickets are on sale now, offering flexible payment plans, priority access, discounts, invites to exclusive events, and much more. Don't miss out on an unforgettable season of fun, friends, community, and soccer. Visit westchestersc.com to become a 2025 season ticket member today. Early stages of the second half. Westchester, as we mentioned, is seeing their rapidly dwindling playoff hopes slip away. Anything short of the victory, and unfortunately, the last 4 matches of their season will not carry many stakes. 3 of them away from home as well. It is a tall order to even put themselves back in the chase, but it's not even a consideration if they don't win. Obregon can't quite pick out Powder. It is one back by Guzin, and he commits the foul in the process. Professional display from his men. I don't think he's under any illusions that this has been a dynamic performance going forward, but they struck early and they're locking up shop now. And for a squad in Madison that has struggled to put the ball in the back of the net all year and has faced finishing woes, this is the right approach away from home against a Westchester side that can often overextend themselves going forward, especially after scoring early. As Obregon is tugged down by Ramos, and this may get contentious. Stephen Foster has a decision to make. Handful of the jersey from Ramos, and to be brutally honest, I think he may be fortunate to get away without any sort of card here. Obregon gave it as good as he got. Both evading any further discipline. Ramos is the enforcer, signed during the summertime, and Matt Glazer has said that he's filled that Mitch Osman role as the physical presence in the heart of that back three that has really been a leader and provided that physical, crunching presence they've needed. Madison fans have been largely happy with his efforts too. There's no whistle here from Stephen Foster. And Obregon has room to uncork towards goal. It looks like it's just sailed wide. He's no stranger to the spectacular against forward Madison. And he has another crack here. Gets it on the turn and just puts his laces through it. And it bends out of the reach of the goal mouth. He is always dangerous. Someone who's scored a fair few goals outside the box. It is a Westchester side that ranks amongst the league leaders in goals outside the box this year. And the crown jewel of all of his tallies this year came against Madison on this ground on May 17th. After just 17 minutes, scored from nearly 70 yards. Arguably the goal of the season. Talking to Dave Carton about that this week, he said that when JC launched that, his first thought was, no, he didn't. No, you didn't just try that. And when it went in, his jaw was on the floor. And he actually said he looked over at Matt Glazer, and Matt Glazer was basically applauding it because there's literally nothing that anybody could do in that scenario. He said that was class from his coaching counterpart and complimented him for it. And obviously, Derek Gebhardt would find an equalizer later that I'm sure Matt Glazer was more thrilled to see. It is probably the most audacious hit you'll see from a USL League One player. Not just this season, but in history throughout the league. So we have a set piece for Westchester here. Beckford and Drack stand nearby. Drack takes it, and well beyond everybody in blue. And another coming together, and Obregon is proven to be quite the lightning rod right now. He's not made any friends on Madison's back line, that's for sure. Let's take another look. Arc towards goal. Obregon, this time in a tussle with a different member of Madison's set-piece defense. Looks to be John Murphy Jr. This time Obregon is the instigator. This could be an interesting decision for Stephen Foster. There is a yellow card out, and it's given to Murphy. And I believe he may also show it to Obregon. Yellow card shown to both parties. So Obregon and John Murphy Jr. in the book. Our referee, maybe he's been lenient there because, at least towards Obregon, because the league's leading scorer is the one that instigated that. The second coming together with a Madison player inside the first 10 minutes of this half. Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. We approach the hour mark. Madison still a goal to the good. But this is getting fiery here.
Madison and Westchester. First for the visitors, the caution was issued to number 77, Nico Brown.
Gebhardt loses out here. Referee waves play on. Okiyoshi. Boyce wins it back. Maybe numbers the other way now. Turns on the afterburners. Has Dorado with him. Pierre a loose touch, and Teta cleans up the mess. Boyce. Pierre first to it again. Only as far as Macias, though. First major bout of possession we've seen from Madison here in the second. The return ball from Macias is off kilter. Obregon can't keep it in play. Now our referee stopping action again. And maybe a yellow card to the Madison bench. That it is. The question is whether it's Matt Glazer or one of his assistants who has been cautioned. Given Matt Glazer's reaction, it appears he's been the one who's seen his name taken. Well, Matt Glazer, year 4 as the Madison coach, and in many regards has revitalized this club. A team that is one of the founding members of USL League One. As Dorado sees the ball knocked away. The whistle blows again, and a yellow card shown. And if it's against Westchester, this is a very appetizing spot for a Madison free kick. Take another look. Looks like Pierre impedes the progress of Luca Dorado. And Teta gets in the way. Either way, this feels like a harsh yellow card offense, especially given the leniency our officials set through the better part of the first hour. It is Villader and Boyce over it. And Pierre has been booked. Villader right into the wall.
Your attention, please. A caution has been issued by the referee to Westchester. Number 4, Bobby Pierre.
On the subject of Matt Glazer and the job he's done, he took over a club that had not reached the playoffs since their inaugural season in 2019. And while it was a rocky first campaign in 2022, in 23, brought them back into the playoffs. And then last year, finishing 3rd in the table and reaching the USL League One semifinals. Only reason they fell was on penalties to Spokane after a scoreless draw. They're one of the best rosters in the league last season, and there were high expectations entering this year that this team would be poised to compete not just for a playoff berth, but a potential league title. Brought back, as we mentioned in the first half, 13 key players from a season ago, including the likes of Garrett McLaughlin and Juan Galindrez, who both have seen their appearances in the 11 fluctuate dramatically this year. Galindrez is not featured tonight at all. It just didn't start the way they'd hoped. The injury crisis early in the season set them back, and despite the Henny Derby victory over Richmond in March, that was one of the few bright spots. When they hit the summer, the dog days really took their toll, but some slight semblances of life since. Here's Murphy, has a hit. It's awkward for Fakuse. And now they'll come back to the earlier collision with 2 Madison players down. Macias and Brown.
A caution has been issued by the referee to forward Madison, number 6, John
You see Brown here. Clever ball to Devin Boyce, and then nearly gets it back. Just runs right into Aiden Macias. Both come off worse for wear, and I think John Murphy Jr. is frustrated that the whistle blew here when perhaps the chance was still on. It's a nasty collision. Fakuse there to deny John Murphy Jr. Nico Brown seems to be the man who's come off worse in that coming together. Still plenty of work for his side to do. It's definitely one of the more difficult seasons they've had to endure. The injuries early in the year, the prolonged winless run. It was 6 matches in all competitions through late July and into August, but snapped it with that victory over Texoma in dominant fashion, and 2 wins in the last 5 entering the night, which I think for last year, Madison would consider that a humble tally, but it is signs of promise, including, of course, the Henny Derby victory in which they won at the death. Faraday Sosa striking to provide them a thrilling win over Richmond. Dave Carton, meanwhile, he saw his side earn a thrilling win a week ago against Texoma. It will take a similar role reversal if they are to replicate that feat here. A longtime assistant under Mike Jeffries. Stoppage gives us a chance to tell you that if you can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Beyond the hour mark now, and we await our referee's signal to get things back underway. When you look at the benches, Dave Carton has mentioned how since they've started to get closer to full fitness as a team, he's had a bit more firepower he can turn to. Throughout summer, there was a stretch where on road trips they were bringing 16 players, including a backup goalkeeper. And that hampered the number of substitutions they could make and cost them a lot of results. Now the likes of Bolaños, Daniel Bauman, Samori Powder, all on the bench, all of whom have experienced knocks and ailments throughout the year. Not to mention Andrew Jean-Baptiste, should they have any interest in bringing another center back into the fold. For Madison, still some firepower as well, if they need it. Dean Bolts, as well as Garrett McLaughlin, one of the league's all-time leading goal scorers. So neither side is barren. Earlier in the year, that was the case when it came to the changes they could make. Powder sees this go out of play. Westchester just struggling to reestablish a rhythm. Maybe a long 30 minutes for him and the Madison fans, especially as this scoreline persists. They've gotten a good grasp on things, especially over the course of the last 10, 15 or so. It won't be a performance that wins any awards for his aesthetics, but it is effective, no doubt, and they have been ruthless when needed. Dorado. Cleared only as far as John Murphy Jr. Back for Dorado. Sees his effort deflected. Falls to Gebhard. He's looking for Boyce, and Drac intervenes. Murphy turns past Obregon and McGlynn. Viader. Low driver. Stabbed away by Pierre. Obregon looking to wrestle his way free. Can't do so. Boyce. Brown. Falls for Murphy again. Chip towards Gebhard. The header didn't have enough momentum on it. Comfortable for Fracouset. Payne. We haven't seen the degree of fullback overlaps and underlaps Westchester would have been hoping for. In fact, Dave Carton said to me that a big point of conversation in pre-match film this week and the analysis of last week was telling Stephen Payne he needs to be a bit less conservative about getting forward and aiding the attack, especially now that they need to win these matches. I've seen his influence pop up in fits and starts thus far. Macias. Out wide for Brown. Darts to the byline. Kier gets in the way. Corner on the way. Madison man is down. Nico Brown, who came off worse for wear in the collision with Aiden Macias, seems to be still battling through whatever physical complications that provided. Westchester readying 2 changes, and it looks like Johnny Bolaños and Daniel Bauman will give it a go. And they will occur now. Bauman for Okiyoshi, a slightly attack-minded change. Although I wouldn't say Daniel Bauman is renowned for his goal-scoring prowess. He's a clean option on the ball. Someone that Dave Carton likes to bring in. Meanwhile, Deshane Beckford's night comes to a premature conclusion. Johnny Bolaños replaces him on the right-hand side. Both substitutions presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. Bolaños, a former Golden playmaker in USL League One with Richmond Kickers, part of that Player Shield winning squad that fell in the semifinals to Chattanooga Red Wolves. Hasn't quite replicated those heights. Dave Carton's played him in a somewhat different role, more of an inside number 10 at times. Wants Bolaños to be comfortable playing more centrally, and in the past, Johnny Bolaños has been known for being a rapid touchline counter-attacking threat. Throw coming for Madison. Get ready for a potential long throw in these scenarios. It's returned to the game of late. Won't come here though, as Mel runs it out of play. Fans, don't miss your chance to be part of history with Westchester's first professional soccer club. Season and single game tickets start at just $18 per game, bringing you world-class action at an unbeatable value. Visit westchestersc.com to learn more and lock in your seat for the 2025 season. 2025 Westchester SC season tickets are on sale now. Final 20 minutes, and for Westchester, arguably the biggest 20 minutes of their season to date. It will take a massive turnaround here. Guzin can't quite provide the first step. Dave Carton has challenged him to be more influential in the final third throughout this year. He says that when he gets the ball in pockets of space, he wants Guzin to be relentless about surging forward and playing a final pass, because that's what he's good at. At times he feels that Guzin drops too deep, or maybe just deploys himself a bit further back than he should in the initial stages of the build. That challenge was answered last week with his assist on Obregon's winner. Bolaños beyond the reach of Obregon there. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. That's the first involvement for Johnny Bolaños, native of Miramar, Florida, who made a name for himself under Zach Haynes at High Point University. It was interesting. I had a conversation with Darren Sawatsky last year about his connection between High Point and Richmond as a whole. Johnny Bolaños, the first of many High Point Panthers he's brought in and introduced to the league, and now Bolaños, a Westchester player after impressing at Richmond and then later Huntsville and MLS Next Pro. Another corner for Westchester, and once again presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Josh Drack getting another crack. loaded and beyond everyone. That delivery, not the finest he's ever produced. Madison will be in no rush to take any throws or set pieces from here on out, and understandably so. Despite some recent defensive woes for Madison, with the 10 goals allowed in the last 4, they've actually kept 5 clean sheets in the last 11 league matches. So by no means a side that has struggled considerably at the back. Matt Glazer mentioning that they're not getting broken down much. The goals are coming when they're committing mental errors or just costly mistakes. And to their credit tonight, they've avoided those thus far. It's been a clean performance out of possession. As you see Toronto here, clipped at the ankles by what appeared to be Connor McGlynn, a late challenge there. It is an imperative 3 points for Madison, not just because it would knife the gap between themselves and the playoff line, but because their final fixtures are rather unforgiving. 3 of the final 4 away from home, and next week at Portland on Saturday against the hottest team in the league, against probably the toughest place to play in the league, a narrow pitch that hampers Madison's ability to use its width. Also against a counter-oriented team in Portland that will be hunting any avenue to capitalize on Madison miscues. So putting a victory in the bank here would offer slightly more margin for error in that match. Though at this stage, they're at the point where any loss could prove damaging. Dorado on the turn, flashes it across. Runs all the way through before it can reach Gebhardt. Final home match for Madison after the Portland match is against Chattanooga, and then back-to-back away fixtures against Omaha and Richmond. Richmond is the only fixture that looks somewhat favorable on paper, but that's the finale of the Henny Derby. And those Henny Derby fixtures are always tightly contested. "15 minutes left for his side to make a difference. He looks on, imploring his squad to respond yet again. McGlynn. Drag. Powder. Out wide. This is Dean Guzin. Powder. Bolaños. A slight bit of room to roam. Back for Powder. Lofts it towards Bauman. It's flicked back for Stephen Payne, who hits it first time and misses by a comfortable margin. More changes coming. And it is Westchester making the alteration. It is an attack-minded one. Samori Powder replacing Stephen Payne, the brother of Noah Powder. Samori, who's referred to by Dave Carton as the most athletic player on the roster, and one of the more exciting players going forward, is into the action and will fill that right back role for Westchester. Samori Powder, someone who's more known for his abilities as an outside midfielder, but opened the year as a fullback. Here's Brown's cross. Teta intervenes and track clears. Only as far as Villader. Dave Carton's mentioned how Samori Powder early in the year was forced to play left back due to the absence of Kemar Lawrence due to the fact that they hadn't signed Josh Drack yet. And he played considerable minutes there despite not being expected to early in the season and performed largely well. Some issues with his defensive responsibilities, being more of an attack-minded player, but can produce a banger. The goal against Spokane is the prime example of that on May 4th. And here he is, looking to make a difference. Finds his brother Noah. Dean Guzin hooks it in. Obregon nearly first to it, and Lapsley makes enough of a difference. That an uncomfortable one for him. Puts himself in harm's way though and pays the price, but also the decision pays dividends. Lapsley is still slow to return to his feet. Burn Shipman is on the bench, but Matt Glazer mentioning that he would be a game time decision, likely doubtful, so I'm sure they're hoping that Lapsley can finish this out as they make more changes. Chris Garcia for Nico Brown, who's been battling a bit of a knock for 20 minutes. And then Luca Dorado exits for Garrett McLaughlin. McLaughlin, the league's third all-time leading goal scorer, with 33 career USL League One goals. Best known for his strong tenure with North Carolina FC before returning to the league midway through last year. So Garcia for Brown and McLaughlin for Dorado. Both changes presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. And then a third for good measure, Isaac Enking, who's provided some attacking burst, replacing Aiden Macias. King scored that brace a couple weeks back at AV Alta in what was a match of the year contender, a 3-3 draw. He was especially impactful in the second half for Madison. Loney from Rhode Island FC, who's still working his way back to full fitness. Suffered a season-ending injury in August of last year. So Matt Glazer mentions he's still getting back up to full strength even a year later, but has been impressed by what he's seen and says his ability to play either on the flanks or in the heart of midfield provides a healthy body they can deploy in a number of places, which, if you know anything about Madison's season in the early stages, availability is sometimes the best ability. Inching towards the final 10 minutes. Madison still with the slimmest of advantages. Obregon turns past Mel, turns beyond Murphy and fouled in the process as well. It has not been Obregon's most involved match going forward. Left isolated for significant portions, few touches in the box. We'll see if Westchester can change that. Guzin, chipped ahead, and Bolaños can't redirect it. That an eyebrow-raising chance that has gone by the wayside. You see Guzin cuts inside, plays a lovely ball, and it's perfectly into the path of Bolaños, who just mistimes his header. Maybe caught between two minds, whether to redirect back across or hunt the near post. Fans, 2025 Westchester Soccer Club season and single game tickets are now on sale. Don't miss your chance to be part of our historic inaugural season at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon. Catch all of the action and all of the fun starting at just $18 per game. Tickets are selling fast. Visit westchestersc.com for more information. It's business time for both clubs. Madison trying to see this out and escape Westchester with a huge 3 points, especially in the wake of what was a brutal defeat at Greenville a week ago. Westchester needs a dramatic turnaround to stave off elimination. despite having a good chunk of the ball, they've shown few signs of providing that. Madison so organized since scoring their opener and minimizing their defensive errors. It's allowed them to feel comfortable despite spending large periods of the match without the ball. We've seen moments in the second half where they've been able to grab the match by the scruff of the neck and create themselves. Guzin. Loses his footing, and he is fouled. Bolaños. It's a loose pass to Pierre. McLaughlin has some room. Garcia was offside. And he seems displeased by our linesman decision. Came back to an earlier foul, actually, so the offside flag is irrelevant in this instance. Garcia. Low cross, nearly fell nicely for McLaughlin. And now out to Guzin with runway for the first time tonight. Powder. Madison back in their shape rather quickly. This is vertical. Obregon looking to carve out an angle to shoot. Brought down in the area, and our referee waves away any arguments. He nearly was able to negotiate his way outside the clutches of Ramos. It did look like he went down rather softly. Would have been a harsh penalty. Time winding down on Westchester's season. Entering the weekend, a defeat was the only result that could immediately doom them, but with results elsewhere, it's created a situation where they must win to stay alive. Here's the cross in towards Bolaños, and Lapsley wins the foot race. Heads up goalkeeping. You see Powder linking with his brother Noah Powder on the far side, and Samori Powder plays a delicious cross in that hangs up just enough for Lapsley to reach it. As this wears on, nerves may set in and maybe more avenues for Westchester to exploit. Come back to the earlier challenge now. Bobby Pierre late to run into Devin Boyes. .50-50, Boyce gets there first and is fouled. And it's wise of our official, once he realizes the chance is lost, to blow it dead. An attack-minded change for Westchester. Hometown boy Erman Makic replacing the center back, Rashid Teta. And at this point, Dave Carton's men are going for it fully. That change presented by Benjamin Steakhouse, always a prime choice. The native of Yonkers, New York, who enjoyed a bright spell going forward throughout August. He's back in the side after matches as an unused substitute. Makic for Teta as Westchester throws caution to the wind. Gebhardt sprinting to the corner flag. All is won cleanly according to our referee. And it appears more changes coming for Madison now. A double swap. Dean Bolts as well as Ferdy Sosa. Like for like on the left flank as Sosa replaces Damia Villader. And then Derek Gebhardt, the goal scorer, will make way to deserved applause from his teammates. He's replaced by Dean Bolts, the 3rd overall pick in the MLS Super Draft by Chicago Fire, joining the club on loan in late August and carving out a starting role in the last 2 matches before this stint back on the subs bench. Matt Glazer saying that there was a period where Dean Bolts had to adapt to League One in training and learn to compete with his teammates. It has provided bright moments in his cameos on the left flank. Gets a 4th opportunity of the season to try and make a difference. Here is his first touch. Set historic records during his lone year at the University of Madison. The only freshman in Badgers history to score 10 goals, 2nd in the Big Ten in goals in 2024. And the highest UW draft pick ever. And now back in Madison, a town in which he is relatively familiar. Sosa, meanwhile, an established veteran with years of experience in USL Championship before joining Madison last year. Right now, he's best known for that Henny Derby winner he scored in stoppage time to down Richmond at home for a huge 3 points. Closing stages of this one. It would take considerable late drama for Westchester to salvage their playoff hopes. Madison, as things stand, in line to claim a desperately needed 3 points in a performance where they've had control of the match or have had things under control despite not having much of the ball. It's antithetical to what we've seen from Madison for large spells this year, known for bossing possession. Has been better in the second half in that regard, though. Final minute of the 90. All eyes will be on our 4th official in a matter of moments. Bauman launches ahead. Cleared away by Boyce. Track looking to run it down. McGlynn. Noah Powder. Looking for his brother Samori, who catches up to it. Can't quite outwit Jake Krull, who has defended masterfully there. The verdict on added time awaits. 5 minutes is what separates Westchester from playoff elimination. Drag. Looking long for Bolaños. Much needed intervention from Murphy, but that has gone behind for a Westchester corner, which is presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. It is a 12th corner of the match for Westchester. They have struggled to produce anything on the previous 11. This time, Dean Guzin is the man to take, presumably with outswing. Delivered to the near post and just wide from Samori Powder. That their best set piece routine of the match, and Powder just missing that near side corner. Quality delivery. He has lapsely rooted to his line and just can't wrestle it in at the near stick. And it gives us a chance to tell you that the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Stoppage time. Westchester desperate now. Ramos floating ahead for Madison. Boyce. Time dwindling for the Golden Apple. Madison keen to burn every second imaginable. Although they have lost the ball on the near side here. Midway through stoppage time. One goal is not enough. It must be two for Westchester. For Madison, their one goal is more than enough. Powder. Dean Guzin. Samori Powder now. McGlynn. Looking for Samori Powder again, who takes it down nicely. The cross deflected out for another corner. Corner 13 of the match. And it's presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. Dean Guzin once again. If it's going to come, it must happen now. Enrique Facuse is out of his net as well. Toward the back post. McGlynn first to it. Contact in the area though, and the whistle sounds against Westchester. Bobby Pierre frustrated after the fact. Ian Murphy don't seem to be done yet. Guzin gets underneath this a bit much. McGlynn was trying to head it back goalward. The collision between Pierre and Murphy took center stage. Final minute of the added 5. Is there a late wrinkle in the tail? This is their last chance to salvage anything. Although it appears regardless of whether or not they score, their fate will be confirmed either way. Drac. Bolaños. McGlynn. The last foray forward surely for Westchester. Powder hooks it in. Makic giving chase. And another corner presented by Ice Air, keeping every play cool and comfortable. And it appears Makic will have to take it at this stage. No time for Westchester to change. Outswinger. Back post. Obregon ahead to it. Here unable to follow it up. And there is the full-time whistle. A hard-fought point, 3 points for Forward Madison as they reinvigorate their playoff hopes. They have knifed the deficit to 5 points between themselves and the top 8 and eliminating Westchester Soccer Club in the process. It finishes Westchester 0, Forward Madison 1. Derek Gebhardt's second-minute tally is enough to make the difference, and a professional display from Matt Glazer's men to keep another clean sheet in a key fixture. Strong performance for Madison organizationally, and while the chances were few and far between, they took the big one that mattered. Dave Carton's side, unfortunately unable to return the favor on the few chances that came across their docket. Well, that is where things finish. Westchester loses 1-0 and eliminated from playoff contention. Forward Madison is well and truly in the hunt. At full time, Madison wins 1-0 here in Westchester County. Stick with us when we return, our full-time highlights and a look at the standout numbers from the fixture. Stick with us.
Our tagline is welcome to Soccer County, not a town. And we want it to be a hub of all the soccer energy throughout the communities of this region.
As a first-year franchise and a club that's new, you know, these are landmarks in the history of the club that you want to really do something memorable.
I think it shows how soccer crazy this area is and how much passion there is about sports and just community in general.
For being a homegrown talent, you know, in my city, it means everything because my family, my friends, all my loved ones come to the game, watch me play, you know, and, you know, I'm just try to put on for my city as much as I can.
You expect Manhattan-level care, and you live in Westchester. With Northwell, you'll find it all right here through this store in Terrytown and this one in Katona, at Phelps Hospital and Northern Westchester Hospital. It's where you'll find a vast network of world-class doctors delivering everything from primary care to the most complex neurosurgery and cancer treatments. And it's all part of New York's most awarded health system, with every door leading to extraordinary care right here in Westchester. Northwell. Raise health.
We welcome you back to the stadium at Memorial Field, where Westchester's playoff hopes have, unfortunately for them, come to a conclusion. It finishes Madison 1-0 winners. They are 5 points south of the playoff line and right in the chase as they eliminate Westchester from contention in the process. It's time to get a look back at the 90 minutes that just transpired from Westchester County in their penultimate home match of the season for Westchester, and it got off to a very poor start. For Madison, cutting through them like a knife through butter. You see here Nico Brown picking it up and plays a very well-weighted pass through to Gebhard, who pokes it around Fakuse. Excellent technique, and he slots it home from there. This deft touch to take it beyond the goalkeeper, and he finishes confidently to power the Mingos in front. In the second half, chances both ways. Westchester threw numbers forward. This one of their better opportunities as you see Powder cut in, run it through to Taimu Opioshi, who just dragged it wide. Obregon wanted this play to the back post, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem that Opioshi saw it. Then on 61 minutes, Madison pushing forward. They created a fair few chances that were decent of their own in the second half. Nico Brown here unable to pick it out. John Murphy Jr. stinging the palms of Enrique Fakuse, drawing an awkward save from him here after the collision. And then 10 minutes in full time with Westchester throwing caution to the wind. This cross coming in from Guzin. It was a lovely ball, but Bolaños can't redirect goalward. And Westchester's comeback attempt came to an unfortunate conclusion. There was one final corner kick involvement. This effort from Powder just wide. That their biggest chance to claw level before full time. Well, that is where things finish from Westchester County. Derek Gebhard's second-minute finish is what makes the difference as Forward Madison claims their first victory over Westchester and a desperately needed 3 points. Westchester out of contention, but Madison definitely still in the hunt. We say so long from Westchester, where it finishes for Madison 1-0 victors. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.